Hello everyone. Recently I had an issue with a skunk getting into the chicken coop and stealing some of the eggs. So got to thinking on a trap system, and this is what I came up with. It's based off an old dog kennel I had laying around. I was trying to find cheap and easy ways to change it into a trap. I couldn't really find anything, but I just want to put this out there for informational purposes on what I did to transform this dog kennel into a live trap. First obstacle I came to is the door here. Usually it swings right to left, and I wanted it to fall closed, and once it falls closed I want it to lock and stay locked. So what I came up with after looking and doing some quick thinking is I took an old coat hanger and I bent it into a hook shape, so when the cage comes and it closes, it will quickly lift this guy up and then fall back down into place. It's like spring loaded, that's why it's so long, and also the hook is face downward, so if anything's inside the kennel freaking out, it'll step on that and still keep it locked and not push it open or by chance or anything like that. The rod comes down and at the end of it has a hook in it, and then it is wrapped around the cage of the kennel itself. I used some galvanized wiring I had from doing an old fence job, and that was what holds it in place and keeps them sliding back and forth. So I got one on the other side here. Then the mechanism system is just something I quickly came up with. It's got an eyelet up here at the gate, and then there's a wire runs down and there's another eyelet, and then the mechanism is pretty much just a little hook there, if you can see that as best I can. I'll try to get you a better view. Alright, so this little hook goes into the eyelet and then it pivots on this bar here. So it's wrapped around another eyelet and two eyelets, and this runs down to my bait. But you can change the sensitivity by this little hook here, if it's more angled or more farther out, things like that, depending on how heavy your bait is. Another afterthought I had is that when trying to load the cage and trying to fight the gate and things like that, I just put this little wire here so I can take this eyelet from the gate and hook it there so I can crawl in and out. I can change the bait and things like that and not have to worry about it going off or such. So other thing is that these holes here I noticed were pretty big, and so I obviously would believe they'd let skunk out, raccoon, feral cat if I caught one. And so I got some old chicken coop fencing that I had laying around and reinforced that around the whole entire cage and used some hobby fencing wiring to wrap it and secure it and reinforce it on the top also. After it's sprung, I can get in here and get the animal out. Excuse me. One thing to keep in mind is that once this thing springs, or once it is set off, this wire is going to have to flip. So I'd be careful of anything in your way when you're placing it for a spot for the animal to come in there. But a couple other things that I had to keep in mind is that these guys here sometimes would interfere with closing of the gate, and so I put these to the back and not on the, or excuse me, to the outside, not the inside of the gate, so when it closes it doesn't interfere. Another afterthought I had, I think I'm going to do here soon, is with this tray I'm going to notch it where needed for the hooks here, but other than that I'm going to cut it probably about a third from the top, and I will anchor this piece inside of the kennel, and then this guy is going to be like a flap, so I'm going to do 2 holes or such, and so it'll pivot, and then do an eyelet at the top and have a small wire so I can interchange it to the bait system I got going on here to this wire, and it'd be quick, easy, transformable, and I can't wait to see this thing catch an animal. If this helped anybody, please just leave a like. Thank you, and hope you have a good day.